So for Behind the Myth, this one is kind of like a case analysis, but kind of a miniature version of it. This one, we're not concerned with the myth as much as we're concerned about how the myth emerged. So I've got the same links as I have for the case analysis, but again, you're not restricted to these. And for this one right here, I'm kind of guiding you through to kind of help you. You are not confined to these, but they are here to help kind of get the motion kind of going. So for this one, you need to choose a myth, an author, or a culture, and you need to find out about the authors or the cultural background where these came from. So, for example, hold on. Okay, so I dug into my books. Let me reposition you. I dug into my books. Okay. Maggie! Stop. Okay, so for this one, I don't want to know about the myths. I don't want to know a myth about a vampire. I want to know where vampires came from. Like, where do they originate from? So, just like this book kind of dives into the origin story of a werewolf. And it kind of tells us who are some of the leading experts, who are some of the authors, what are some of the adaptions, and just the overall reason why humans are fascinated with werewolves. Another one is like the Wizard of Oz. Alright, so this one actually started as a myth, and then this one will turn into a full-on story. So a myth could be an oral tradition where you're just talking the whole time. So this one actually started that way. It was, so if I were to go behind this, I would have discovered that the author used to be a salesman, and he would just go from town to town to town selling things and telling little kids or anyone who would listen to him stories about the people in this, and eventually it'll turn into the Wizard of Oz that we know it today. So I would look into the author. I would look into the cultural events that inspired him to do this. You know, so another one would be Hans Christian Andersen. So we've all heard some of his fairy tales. Maybe you guys have heard of some of them. Sorry, this book's like 100 years old. I'll have to break it here. So we've got like the Wild Swans, the Little Mermaid, the Storks, the Dustman, the Daisy, the Real Princess, the Snow Queen. Okay, so I don't want to know about those myths. I want to know why Mr. Andersen created these stories. What was going on in his world at the time? And, you know, what is some of the, like, why are his stories different than the Grimm's fairy tales? Like, what is their distinguishing factors? What's culturally different between them? That might be something you would want to do. What's the difference between Hans Christian Andersen and Grimm's fairy tales? Or maybe you want to do Aesop fables. Like, what's the cultural significance of Aesop fables compared to something else? So that's what this one is. This one is it's behind the author. It's behind the culture that is creating this stuff. And you're kind of just nosediving in. So as usual, like I said, you are not confined to this stuff right here. This is something here to help you stay organized for people who are like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But some people kind of take like, you know what, I want to look into the historical context of Hans Christian Andersen and I just want to go with it, and I got you. I'll follow the rubrics. Peace out. That's fine too. So here's ways to present it. As usual, you could just write it just regular. You could illustrate it for us. You could do a video like I'm doing right now, a PowerPoint. How you show us what's going on is up to you. These books are all dusty. It's making my nose itch. All right, so that's what we're doing for this one. So good luck.